pardon that obnoxious ear rape, we have to get the how to Tomo 101 blasts your ears in at least once per video over with now so we can actually get onto the tutorial. Not to say it won't be memed to shit and obnoxiously political, but I think you get the idea. Also, this doubles as a disclaimer that given the nature of this game, if you or your loved ones are going through a tough time, playing an imagination-based shitty card game might not be the best use of your time, or might actually hinder your development as a person. Also, the clown car from the previous video was not a virus or a keylogger. I used it myself. I got sent absolutely nowhere. Because I'm already in the clown car. Now that we have the warning out of the way, and you aren't the kind of person to get absolutely offended by something that isn't real, we can continue. Let's get a new guy and no reason why.
Hey you, yeah you, I see you back there being bored. Don't try to fool us. You looking for a time drain that'll leave lasting memories inside your head without being a toxic Counter-Strike player? Ever wanted to have a free market where you trade randomly generated stuff for other randomly generated stuff under a practically free economy? Do you happen to also enjoy dice rolls, lines on paper, memes, doing a little bit of trolling? Because if you said yes to every single one of these things, Waifu FighterZ wait, hold on. Am I even pronouncing that right? Whatever, that's for Tomo to fix is absolutely perfect for you. It mashes all these components into something truly amazing. Not because it's anything professional but because it's rip-off dog shit. Before we even get into anything else, however, you ever happen to play one of these games? You know, the really janky team placer kind of anime game that no one except people with way too much money on their hands should be playing? I'd say if you played Naruto online for even a few weeks. That's exactly how the battle system works. See this conveniently placed board, or deck square? That's where you place your units, or characters, in this game. Imagine it as some kind of optimal formation you get to use, except contrary to anything these games like to do with unit placement. The game doesn't tell you what has to be a spongy damage dealer and what's a unit with no value. Heck, the colors are only color-coded to inform you where the back of the square deck is. A unit's worth. Well, that's up to you. You heard me. Entirely your choice. This is reinforced by the fact that what a character can do is only defined by what they did in the series they come from, meaning if you want to run nothing but Devil May Cry characters that dodge and hit hard, go for it. For people not initiated in the pile of shit that is the standard knockoff browser game, go check out a Naruto online video for a better explanation. Seriously, there are core mechanics here that you might have to be aware of. You can even pause the video for it. Seriously, this will be important. Alright, are we done? So, you might be wondering, what's the chakra equivalent since it's a unified multi-series card game? Well, PP takes its place. It stands for power points. Believe me, I already made a trap card making fun of it. PP, unlike chakra though, is a resource that doesn't replenish itself. You have to go out of your way to replenish it, via telling your character to do nothing or via other assorted means. The big benefit to accumulating PP is essentially being able to launch mysteries or transform, called a W factor, or an H factor depending on gender. You have to take into account what the opponent is planning to do, what you are planning to do, and how you are going to accomplish that with a PP limit of 7. Everything else should be explainable, except trap cards. What the hell is UGIO doing in my bootleg ass game? Get this shit out of here. Except it's the extra combo replacement. Like summoning jutsu stuff. These have a variety of uses, all kinds of different types, different memes adapted to be handy cards, and totally not power crept within the 2 years Waifu FighterZ has been out. See which ones are for you based on your playstyle. But wait. If Waifu FighterZ has a shoestring budget and doesn't have a bot calculating every last decision you make, how the hell will you know if you crit, actually land a combo state, or whatever? This must be super important, right? It is, and how the roles work are insanely simple and easy to grasp. Anything that's even is a combo, 7 crits, and the number 10, the highest you can roll for damage, does both. What's important to note is the typing of the character as well, as certain types are disadvantaged by a certain typing. like how Naruto Online works. Don't worry about the semantics with how to calculate the two typing squares. The advantage a fire type gets from attacking a cavalry is so small that it doesn't matter, and often we just ignore it anyway. Just think advantage versus disadvantage on just one of them. Okay, now that we're done with understanding the general combat system, I think it's time we talk about the collection aspect of the game. Collecting is the name of the game, and how you get stronger. And let me tell you, there are many ways to collect, though collection depends from server to server due to the nature of this sort of game. You know, different rules, different circumstances. But, for now, we'll be using the main server as a basis, a starting point if you will. But first, let's talk about rarities. Bronze stars are the most common and weakest rarity that isn't constantly shit on, and easy to acquire dupes for. Silver stars are bronzes with a Gucci belt and start off with twice as much stats, with both of them sharing the same dupe rate at 50% of a bronze per dupe. Gold stars are the rarest you can acquire from the general pool and have 3 times as much stats as a bronze, but first come only serve in regards to claiming, and they gain an entire bronze worth of stats per dupe. Rainbow stars can't be pulled and are the most powerful, but they have to be earned. Dupes are insanely rare for these, so they have a high collection value. The easiest way to collect characters and trap cards would be simply chatting inside Tomo's Discord server. There are plenty of rewards for just interacting around, and it can carry you quite far for a beginner. But, eventually this does get harder and the rewards do get sparser. So, say, if you want to play right away, or the rewards aren't coming as quickly as you like, there are obviously other options. The second easiest is via challenges, though you do have to meet a prerequisite before you can claim the rewards. Of course, the level up rewards are challenges too, but this is specifically for beginner challenges. There are plenty of options as well, and they can help you acquaint yourself to the game as well. The harder, more automated fights even give you great rewards, so by all means, engage with it. Then you have trading, well, obviously, but that's subject to the free market and ease of access, so it's very easy to be ripped off, not unlike Warframe console players. Only go for this if you are desperate or the character is fairly limited. Oddly enough, the Waifu Bulletin, despite still being relatively easy to get characters from, is probably the second hardest, mostly because there's a very good chance that someone might stockpile a bunch of claims, actually fight you for your claim, an entire alliance protects one guy, or the fact that Tomo barely fucking updates the damn thing. If you want to go down this route, this is where you'll have to strategize as well, to a reasonable extent. This might seem rather disjointed, but early on, if you want to either get the characters you want from the Waifu Bulletin, or build your own East India trading company, please get yourself an alliance. An alliance is effectively like a guild, or a politics and war alliance. You all are under the same banner, and though you obviously still keep your individual identity, you can get things done with a group that you might not even attempt until way later otherwise. There are lots of benefits to being in one, such as mutual protection, staving off potential scavengers from ganking your entire team, and so on. Though the most benefits directly from being in one stem from the final way of collecting, and adventure mode, which is a bit more advanced, so we won't cover adventure mode here. That final way of collecting is through raids, which are limited time events that the entire server works together to whittle down a strong opponent's health. They all have different rules, but having a strong box, also known as your collection, does help your chances. At the end, you gain rewards based on you and your alliance's performance compared to the rest of the server. Killing the opponent leads to even greater rewards. Believe it or not, you are quite literally almost done with this basic tutorial. Hey Tomo, you want to finish this up?
Absolutely. The final thing I'd like to cover is the very obvious fact that trap cards gain effects based on how much dupes they have, also like Warframe. So, make sure to collect enough to get that bonus. Though the initial card does count itself as a dupe. So, we're done. You now know enough to start playing at potentially even a casual competitive level. Everything else, you'll either come to figure out through gameplay, or the shitty rulebook goes into detail about it. And if you have trouble deciding what your characters should do, no worries at all. Just have as much fun as you like.
The problem is that the outro is still in dry cleaners.
You know what, I'll just reuse old footage. Good deal. I'll even leave the clown car door in the description.